Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan and today I'm finally going to be doing my review of my white Chanel classic flap. Now this is maybe my fifth time trying to film this video because what I originally intended was to do a review and then to have a second video coming up on Sunday showing you how I like to style the bag. This was going to be like a fun little show off of like the silk dresses and all the things like that, how I incorporate this bag into my wardrobe. And in the middle of filming, I discovered I do not actually feel comfortable, with the level of frolicking that I would have to do in front of the camera. I was kind of like, okay, no, this is not working. I cannot do this amount of prancing. Not gonna happen. So I'm refilming, reorganizing this video to make it fit with what I can actually do. Maybe a year from now, some amount of time, I'll be a little bit more comfortable doing just a dedicated styling video because I love them. I love to watch them. I find them so helpful, so much better than just looking at like a still on Instagram to see how someone likes to use the bag, how comfortable they look holding it, how easily do they style it. So I love those kind of videos, but apparently I cannot film one. Not gonna happen right now, but I will if there's anything good, any usable footage, I'll put it at the end of this video. I am going to include mod shots, rough wear and tear, and how wearable I find this bag to be. So I bought this bag last summer. It was kind of a treat for myself since we had to give up quite a bit that we wanted for our wedding. We weren't going to be traveling that year, obviously with the pandemic. So I wanted something, just to mark the occasion, something special that I would be able to use for years to come. And I did use this on my wedding day. We just had a really simple courthouse ceremony and we went out to dinner with our parents and 3 friends. It was very simple, but I loved this bag. As I said, I bought this last summer, so I haven't had a lot of time with it, with staying home, with now being in winter. I have not worn it a lot, but I did wear it quite a bit when I first bought it and a little bit this fall. It was coming out with me like a couple times a month. I knew this was not going to get a lot of use anyway, but I expect to get a lot more use out of it in the springtime because that's when I wear a lot of my silk floral dresses. It's way too hot and humid to do that in the middle of summertime, and I'm wearing a lot of sunscreen. Yeah, we'll get to all of that when it comes to wearability. But just to give you a quick overview, this is the small white Chanel classic flap. I'll have measurements and price listed down below in the description box, but it does have the Mona Lisa pocket. I'll include strap length down below, drop length, I mean. So this has the double flap, the love letter pocket, which I find to be absolutely useless, and I love the stories as much as anybody, but I just spend most of my time making sure this zipper is flat. This compartment does not go down, it only goes up on my bag. See, even now it's like I have to make sure that the zipper is staying up. So it's just one big white compartment. I usually slip my phone into this front pocket with the lipstick pocket back there, made in France. I don't use those pockets either. I don't know, I think they're a little bit easier to use on the jumbo. If I were to actually use the lipstick pocket, nothing would fit in this bag. We'll get to that later. Now, I oohed and awed over this thing and thought about it for a solid week. Being my very first Chanel bag, I was really nervous and I could not believe I wanted to get white. Of all things, a white bag. I'd never owned a white bag. I had my Valextra bag for a few months at that point, and I saw that it was pretty easy for me to wear, especially because I love those silk pieces so much. So it was easy for me to incorporate. That made me a little bit hopeful, and the whole week when I was considering the purchase, I kept going in my wardrobe and thinking, oh, that'll be perfect, that'll be perfect. Even still, when I went to the boutique to buy it, it took me an hour and a half of comparing this or the Black Mini reissue. Knowing that the Black Mini reissue was going to be so much more practical, it's what, $2,000 less? Anyway, I kept going back and forth, but the Chanel boutique, they told me, listen, we can always order this for you. If we don't have any mini reissues, we can always order it for you. However, this white one is probably not going to be here even another week because they're so highly sought after. So, you know, and they were lovely. They were really helpful telling me all the things I think about when it comes to wear and tear, you know, really helping me talk through my decision. Obviously, I decided to buy it and I'm so happy I did. It's been really easy for me to incorporate into my wardrobe. I'm gonna put up a picture of some of my favorite shoes to wear it with and hopefully some mod shots. I typically wear it on my shoulder. It just barely fits crossbody. That's my only gripe about the small bag. My mini reissue fits more stuff in it. I don't carry that much, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I do wish that it was a little bit longer so I could crossbody it. I'll still do it just to get it out of the way, and I know that wearing your bag a little bit higher, it's like kind of like more fashionable now. But I typically wear it on my shoulder. I love it. I find it really easy to wear. Something that my husband thought was cool is you can hold it a little bit like a clutch, and you can wrap the chains around. So it's like this beautiful like cascading bracelet. I think it's just gorgeous, and with it being so bright white, it's a fantastic neutral. My Valextra bag is kind of a like cream off-white, so I actually reach for them on totally different occasions. I also am a little bit more particular about this bag. When it comes to wear and tear, there is obviously no wear on it so far. The hardware is still very shiny. There are no scratches. There's no wear on the corners. I have seen Instagram pictures where people will wear this with jeans. I don't know how they do it. I don't have the confidence to do it yet. Perhaps if it's just double strapped on my shoulder, you know, it's not gonna be touching my jeans. I was a little silly and kind of panic bought two white cardigans after buying this and a pair of white jeans. Stupidly, the white jeans were too small, and I've never been motivated to buy white jeans in my life. Hopefully one day I can find a pair that I like, but that was a mistake on my part. I have so many other things that I like to wear this with, and I've never reached for those white cardigans. So I am sure that this will mark eventually. I'm sure it will yellow eventually. I do keep this in its dust bag with all of the protective felt to hopefully slow that down, because it will patina over time. Now Chanel will dye it within the first 5 years. They told me that after 5 years they're not going to touch it because the leather becomes too delicate. I don't know if that's true or if that's simply their stance on it, but they will change out the hardware for the life of the bag. I believe with a small fee after a certain amount of time, but they will not dye it after 5 years. I'm gonna try to never have it dyed. I think the only reason I would consider dyeing it is if I have really bad color transfer, but they warn me it will change the texture of the bag, you know, and sometimes people reported having that tacky feeling afterwards. I hope that I'm just okay with it looking a little bit more well-loved down the line, and just postponing that for as long as possible by keeping it in its dust bag, wearing the right things, not wearing it in the rain, kind of just common sense things. Another thing, as I mentioned, I mostly wear this in the spring and fall because in the summertime I get sweaty. I wear sunscreen, things get mucky, you know. Apparently I can't go a video without mentioning what a sweaty little gremlin I am, but I'm a normal person and I'm kind of messy sometimes. So I don't wear this much in the summertime because I don't want to get sunscreen on the beautiful straps. In the winter time, I have to lotion my hands constantly. I mean, even when I'm wearing makeup, which is not very often, but for example, like before this video, I washed my hands thoroughly, but my hands get so dry in the winter time, and I am really particular about not touching the hardware or the bag when I have wet hands or if I just lotion them, because all of that is going to leave residue on the bag, and that's where it's going to yellow. Oh goodness, okay, so it might sound like I have to think about a lot of different things to keep this bag clean, but I promise it has not been hard at all. All of these things came really naturally to me. I don't bother bringing hand sanitizer inside this bag because, you know, going in and out of it constantly, and I'd have to touch the metal, especially if my hands aren't dry yet from the hand sanitizer. And most places have it now, you know, they have it in and out storefronts. But when it comes to what fits inside, now this was probably the biggest con for a lot of people. I personally don't care because I don't carry much. It does not fit very much at all. The flap definitely limits capacity, so I tested out what fits inside it before filming this video. So I have my French wallet. Easily fits inside. If you're using a card holder, you'll have no problem. I have a smaller phone. This is one of the Pixel phones. I have no idea about iPhones or anything like that, but I will put the measurements down below so you can compare. That fits easily in the front pocket. Now, when it comes to all my little bits and bobs that I carry with me, something they warn me about is leather can mark leather. If you have a leather piece that were to scrape against the inside of this bag, it could potentially leave a mark. Let's say you have some kind of SLG in a bright color. It could mark this bag. So to carry all my little things, I used to just use this cheap little old sunglasses case, but now I have upgraded. I use this little cotton pouch. It's not dyed, so I don't have to worry about it. I just have my keys in here because I don't want my keys scraping against the inside of this bag. I have hand sanitizer and chapstick. That's all I carry out nowadays. I don't usually wear makeup. I don't fuss with a lot of those things anymore. I'm pretty minimalistic when it comes to what's in my bag. So in that little baggie there, that fits easily inside. You can see right in there. Very simple. That's not a lot. Now, I have tested it. If you have a pair of very, very slim sunglasses, they will fit and it will close. It's a little bit tighter than I prefer. I just don't want to have to fight when I'm putting things in and out. If I have to grab my wallet, I don't want to have to fight past my sunglasses. I think it's just easier not to have them in there and to wear them on your face or on your shirt. But this is the bag with sunglasses, that little pouch, my small wallet, and my phone on the front pocket. It doesn't like it. I can feel it kind of wanting to push open. So, just taking all of that out. I did try this with my larger Tom Ford sunglasses and it would not fit. It wasn't going to happen. If you are curious, I don't have a lot of SLGs, and part of the reason why I can't like show you a million things going into it, but this is a pretty large Continental wallet and it does fit easily, but you can't fit anything else. My phone will still fit in that front pocket, but it's a tight squeeze. It just doesn't want to close easily. So if you had to, it could work, but I wouldn't recommend it. Another reason I like to pack really minimally when I'm using this bag is because I don't want to constantly be going in and out of it. Now, I am planning on doing a video all about luxury that made my life easier, especially with being a weekend commuter. So many things needed to make my everyday life easier. This bag will not be featured in that video. No surprise. This is one of those bags where I really enjoy taking the time to baby it and, you know, tuck it all away at night, love it. Wipe it down. This does not make anything easier. Even when I'm using it, it can sometimes be a hassle getting in and out. However, I kind of like that. Now, I enjoy it with these luxury pieces for some of them to be a little bit more high maintenance. And to, I don't know, the struggle makes it, oh, I sound so crazy. Well, all the struggle that comes with dealing with this bag kind of makes it more precious to me. I know that sounds nuts, but it's true. It's just how I feel about this bag. I don't mind the extra fuss. It kind of, I don't know, it just makes it more special. That being said, it's not hard to use. I don't feel like, I don't feel terribly inhibited by this bag, by needing to pack lighter or be more careful when I'm wearing it. In fact, the only thing that I find remotely annoying about this bag is when I want to change from a double strap to a single or a single to a double. it works a lot better if you have this open and then you pull. If the flap is completely locked and closed, it can really drag, and it doesn't, I'm just guessing that can't possibly be good for the bag. I'm gonna have manchettes right here. I am 5'5". I'll have some of my measurements down below if you're interested and you want to compare to how it might fit on you, but I find this bag really comfortable to wear. If you're debating getting a weight bag, I would recommend it personally if, big if you're someone who, you know, it's not going to be so stressful for you, you know, where you're not even going to be able to enjoy it. If you're someone who it's going to just have you on pins and needles, like, are you going to scrape it against something? Is someone going to mark your bag? Like, you still want to be able to enjoy it. I personally do not feel stressed when carrying this bag. It's also caviar leather, so that makes it a lot easier. If you're someone who perhaps you're okay with it being a little bit more well-loved looking, if you're okay with the wear and tear that will eventually happen, then I think it can be fine. I would also say that if you're someone who just lives in blue jeans, it might not be the easiest bag to incorporate. I have not had a problem with it so far. For what I do like to wear with it, just to give you some ideas, I have these simple white trainers when I want to be more casual, and then this silky floral skirt. I actually have a lot of these things, these kind of midi skirts. I can wear it with silky tank tops or just even a white t-shirt. All of those things, like, I don't have to worry about it staining the bag. Another option I really like is pairing those midi skirts with more fitted sweaters like this one. I will have, hopefully, more footage of this at the end, but that's just to give you an idea of how I like to style it. This bag has been so easy for me to wear. I love it. If you are constantly going back and forth with yourself, like, do I get a white bag? Do I not? All I can say is this has been so easy for me to use. In fact, I really want another white bag. I would absolutely bring another one into my collection just because I want to use this all the time. Now, I can't because we're not going out that much and it's not really, the weather's not appropriate right now. When I go out nowadays, I just wear a big bulky coat and I don't even bother with a purse. So I think that's all I wanted to say. Please let me know if you have any questions. And also, I am new to doing reviews, so if you have any ideas, if there are things that you particularly like to see, please let me know in the comments. I'm very open to feedback. This is just the kind of thing that I like to know about. I'm not really fussed about seeing every little thing that can possibly fit into it. The only things I want to know really are, you know, does a card holder fit? Will a full-size wallet fit? And my phone. You know, and then maybe a little bit of extra bits. I think if you were trying to fit a proper leather pouch in here, it would be hard. But that's more about the small size versus it being white, or, you know, even if you get a medium, all of that will change. There's so many good videos on here related to a small Chanel Classic flap or a mini, and that's why a lot of people go with the minis, because sometimes they can even fit more and they're several $1,000s less. So I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if you have any questions down below and I'll catch you next time. Bye.